As you can see, I'm just creating a lesson plan for tomorrow, one of the many things that teachers have to do. A lot of people think that when 2:30 comes around and you let the kids go back home, the teaching is all done, but it's not. There's many things that go into teaching, and I'll explain a few of them to you right now. One thing is to create lesson plans. For every lesson that you do each day, a teacher has to create a lesson plan that shows how he or she is trying to teach you a new concept. These lesson plans just can't be random either. They have to follow either the Illinois State Standards or Common Core Standards. For each grade level, there's certain criteria that people want you to meet, so you have to make sure that your lesson plans are letting students meet those. On top of that, you have to be able to manage a classroom, which isn't always easy since classrooms can be up to more than 30 students. So you have to make sure that while you're teaching, you're also watching your students to make sure that they're doing good and staying on task and that there's no real problems occurring. Another thing that you have to be able to do is come up with differentiated instruction. As we know, kids don't always learn the same thing the same way. Some kids are visual learners, other kids would rather read, some kids would rather draw, others would rather write. So you have to make sure that when you're creating lessons that you're always giving students different opportunities to learn in different ways. While you're doing this, you should always assess the effectiveness of your own teaching. If while doing a lesson plan you notice that something isn't quite working, you should probably change it so next time around it can work a little bit better. Additionally, if you see that something has worked really well, you should make sure you make note of that so that when you go do it in the future, that you do the same thing again. And as we know, not all classes are the same, so different things will work better with different groups and worse for different groups as well. So it's important to always be flexible, and most importantly to make sure that students leave your classroom learning something new. Part of teaching is making sure that we're preparing kids for the grade ahead of them, for high school, for college, and for their careers. So teaching is a very important job. As we all know, I'm a middle school English teacher, but a lot of people ask me, why do you like your job? So I'll give you a few reasons right now. When I was a student back in middle school and high school, around your age, I always thought that I might want to become a teacher because I always liked working with my classmates, especially if they were having trouble with a certain task. I always thought it was fun to try to get them to understand it. So now that I'm teaching now, I enjoy many different things about it. One of the things I like about it is the challenge that it brings. I find it very challenging, enjoyable, and worthwhile to find new ways to help students learn different concepts. As we know, not everybody learns the same way, so it's fun to try to think of different activities that can engage everybody and make them learn something new. And of course, a huge reason that I like teaching is because I like working with younger students. I like to listen to ways they come up with different things. I like seeing their work. I like seeing how they progress through the year. And of course, I like working with students because I think they're fun. So if after hearing all this, some of you decide you want to be a teacher, I'll explain how you can become one. At the very least, you're going to need a bachelor's degree in education, which will take 4 years at a university. A lot of these classes are going to focus on different strategies of how to teach in different subjects that you could teach, such as reading, history, science, etc., in the classroom. So this is the bare minimum requirement. Of course, if you want to focus on something more specific and get a higher degree, such as your master's or doctorate, you can continue schooling after your first 4 years. But only 4 years in your bachelor's is required to become a teacher. Now, me personally, I wanted to become a middle school English teacher. So I had to take a couple extra classes in order to work in the middle grades, which is anywhere from 6th to 8th grade. Additionally, since I wanted to teach English, I had to take 15 credit hours of English classes at my university. Although it was hard work, it was very rewarding in the end. So if any of you want to become teachers, I think that you should. Thank you.